My experience at Parker, it is one that brings a smile to your face every time you think about Parker itself, because it was, to be referenced, I would relate it to community, because everybody that went to Parker, everybody knew everybody that went to Parker. No matter what community you were from, we were all related in some kind of way. You came from Loveman's Village, Titusville, Smithfield, Illerton. All of us were we were together, man. We enjoyed the time we had with one another. Even when we got into fights or just got into arguments with one another, it was still family, because everybody made sure that we got along, at the end of the day.
I actually grew up in Smithfield. My grandparents actually built a house that was literally about a block from Parker. So I grew up on 10th Avenue, so I was always able to hear band practices and games that they would have. A lot of the kids that lived in my neighborhood, we had known each other since childhood. I went to elementary school at Tuggle, so I started there, which was in that neighborhood in East Thomas. Went from Tuggle straight to Wilkerson, where I met a lot of my high school friends, and a lot of us transitioned from Wilkerson straight to Parker. We never even really thought about going anywhere else than Parker.
And I can remember, for instance, communities like Smithfield, that's right down the street from it, that you see herds of kids going and coming from school. And most of them will walk down 8th Avenue to Smithfield Library. Those that lived in Loveman Village or Titusville would all take that same route. And so parents often seen those same kids. And so we would, we knew each other. Parents knew each other. Somebody got in trouble, doesn't matter how far they lived away from you, pretty much everybody knew it. We had parents that got involved. If they saw a fight on the street, they're gonna come out and they're gonna break that up. And let me change that, before anybody even got to break it up, when they saw a parent present, everybody scattered like ants.
Matter of fact, it was so much of a family and a community that we actually stood more for one another than we did for anybody else. Now, if we got into a fight with one another, that's fine, but somebody from somewhere else wasn't gonna come in there and start something with us. It didn't matter, we were fighting against each other. Somebody else came in, we got at them as well. But I mean, that's the kind of community and family it was. So it was wonderful in that there were nobody trying to be more than anybody else. Of course, trends came through and people were blessed to be able to have one thing and this kind of, highlight that. But as far as family is concerned, did nobody have anything more than anybody else? We were broke and didn't even know it, but we had a good time with one another. So that's one of the things that really brings a smile to your face when you think about your experience at Parker.
My whole family graduated from Parker, from my cousins, my sisters.
My granddad and my grandma went to Parker. My dad's mom and his dad went to Parker too.
My mom, my dad, my sister, my uncles, my grandmas. My grandmas, my granddad.
Yeah, my cousins, aunties, uncles, everybody went to Parker, so it's pretty much like I needed to come to Parker too.
So, yeah, it's good to follow their footsteps.
A lot of history. That's what Parker is. We're proud, going all the way back to Nell Carter and people before her.
One of the biggest things I took away from it was, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I had a teacher, Sandra Wings. She always instilled in us to have that great pride in the history of Parker, and so we were almost drilled with the Parker history of always knowing that, of course, it started in the late 1800s. It originally was a one-building schoolroom for about 20 students. It was called Negro High School. It was the only institution that was open for Black students at that time to continue their education for typically it not being a situation where they were expected to go to high school or were expected to go further than that. After that, it went to industrial, where of course the first principal was Arthur Harold Parker, which when he retired, that's where the school name was changed to. So it just kind of always lived up to that legacy of, at the time, it was the only school, even until the civil rights movement, that a lot of Birmingham city schools were completely or all white until they were desegregated, where students only had a limited amount of places they were allowed to go. And most students, that's all they had was to go to Parker. So I'll even have some of my friends where their entire family, their mother, their grandmother, they all went through Parker, because not only because of the legacy, that was the only place that they had that they could go.
The time that I came along, pretty much all the schools in Birmingham were pretty much integrated, and a lot of that history, a lot of us share as far as, what our population looked like.
My history class, Ms. Weens, she taught everything about Parker. She made us learn the school song, the mission statement. I ain't know nothing about Parker was the first black high school till I got here to Parker.
So Parker is special because, we always talk about how it's the first black school. And I feel like it's not just black anymore. I mean, the people that are here, obviously it's not just black anymore. But it's real diverse, and it's a community school.
I initially moved here from Tennessee, and we live probably about 15 minutes down the road from Parker.
I live in East Thomas, and I had two choices, Parker or Carver. And my friends in middle school, they was finna go to Carver, and in middle school I had Mexican friends. So they was telling me, come on, let's go to Carver. It's going to be more Hispanics over there. And I was thinking about it, but then I tried to choose another path and wanted to try something new. So I came to Parker.
When I first came here, I was scared because people had said, oh, well, you're going to Parker, that's a bad school, and all that bad stuff they used to say about it. They were like, oh, well, all the kids bring weapons, and you have to go through a metal detector every day, and they don't do any work over there, And so when I came here, I didn't see any metal detectors, I didn't see any bad kids, and I didn't see that teachers didn't do anything, because I feel like teachers are really passionate about their work and about teaching.
The community, my friends, I have a lot of friends that go here. They always talk about how Parker's a great community and it's really good to get into. But the transition was easy for me. I came here, I thought I would be, a little looked at differently, treated differently, but it's not the case. I feel like I'm family here. I feel welcomed.
The favorite thing about the school is the teachers, because they push you in class, they tell you what you need to do, what you don't need to do, they help you when you need help, and they keep you on the right path.
People constantly reminding us of the pride that we ought to take in just being African Americans, and don't let some stereotype that somebody else have about Birmingham play into where we think we should go, what we think we ought to be able to do. It was just all about having pride in yourself, and you learn that from day one when you count in until even when it's time to graduate, how teachers just pushed us to not only to excel academically, but to excel socially, but also have a civic conscience to be able to go out and do things so that we know how to live our lives, and we were inspired to do better once we left there.
You know how normally people think schools, they're just just a bunch of kids. They're not doing anything. But if you walk into a school, you realize that there's a lot of things going on. You have people trying hard at schoolwork. Then you have people that are leading those people. And that's what I see a lot here is leadership. And that's what I need to help on is leadership. And I have my sergeant major pushing me to do that.
There were two teachers in particular that made an impact on me, and that was Miss Thurkill, Miss D. Thurkill, and Mr. McNeely. He was my history teacher.
Miss Poe, who was a math teacher there, was like a best friend to me. I mean, I can remember times when I got close to not doing well on the test. She'd stay late. She'd do the conferences with my mom. Didn't mind saying the bittersweet stuff to me to kind of get me back on the right path.
I think at Parker, your teachers were great. They didn't give you anything, but it made you work for it, and that helped you along the path.
The bond of just knowing that you had people that were going to keep you in line, keep you straight, was key for a lot of people to go on to be successful.
I didn't really do a lot in the beginning of when I started at Parker, but toward the end, my junior, senior, I got very involved in drama. So I did drama club where we would hold different plays for the school. I was also involved in the debate club where we would hold debates against different schools.
I participated in football, basketball, and theater. I also have a scholarship to UAB.
I think it was basketball. I was asked to play football. Football wasn't my sport at the time. Parker was a school that had tremendous athletes. Football program was great at that time. Basketball was great. A lot of Division I guys came out of Parker.
I mean, we hated to lose in anything. And, you know, without a whole lot of violence, I can remember games where we lost football games and our fans were at the opponent's bus, ready to rock the bus a little bit, let them know where they were.
While playing sports, it's like everyone is a rival. No one likes Parker. We were the first black high school ever, so it's like everybody wants to beat us and be better, even though we're the best, you know.
What makes Parker unique to me? It is unique in that we have a very strong alumni base. And that strong alumni base is representative of everybody's pride in Parker itself. That once you graduate, you are forever a member of this organization, this organism, you may as well say it that way, because anytime there's something happening with Parker, all you have to do is say it and everybody shows up.
Nobody comes out to a game like the alumni comes out. It's like we're one big family and you can ask anybody that goes here.
I can remember going to games and band competitions and you see generations of people, grandfathers, great-grandfathers out there still cheering on the school because of that pride.
You can get alumni to support you in anything. The choir last year, we didn't have any money and the alumni found a way to get us to Atlanta and back here.
And it's so great to see that the picnics still go on and everybody still stick together and continue every year to come together with Anita and all that. It's so wonderful to see everybody still staying in touch.
I feel great, like great to be a part of this history expanding. I really had fun in this school. Like if I were to tell some of my friends to come, I would tell them that that Parker will receive you with their hands open and they will treat you like family.
I noticed that Parker is the underdog, I guess you would say, among schools, but we'll be coming back stronger than ever.
I would tell kids like this, hey, respect grown folks and get you a good education, stuff like this. Cause the street ain't for you. You understand? You can be something if you want to. It's up to you.
I just hope that I'm gonna be a big thing where they'll say Nell Carter went here, and Angela went here, and Tyler went here too.
So it was amazing just the pride that people had that finished Parker because of the history of Parker, and that's just something you just want to keep going.
Parker is a legendary and historical school, and I'm privileged to have graduated here.